Are you ready to change your money flow? Would you like to get beyond the six figures that you keep bumping up against? Well, let me tell you, my book, Magical Money Manifestations, is going to help you create money manifestations on autopilot so that you will have more money, more freedom, and more joy in your life. Go to magicalmoneymanifestations.com to find out more information. If this is the first time you're listening to the Wealthy Wednesday show, please remember to subscribe and click on the like button. This is Lucy McMonagle. I am the Mystic Wealth Creator and I mentor mystic entrepreneurs to create more freedom in their business through conscious wealth creation so that they can make a big impact in the world and leave a legacy. I truly believe that when we accept our mystic powers and use them as entrepreneurs, that we will accelerate the transformation of this world so that we can bring about more peace and harmony, free from hunger and free from war. So today we have a very special edition of the Wealthy Wednesday show, and I'd like to invite you to click on the subscribe button and click on the like button. So please make sure you share this Wealthy Wednesday show with any of your friends, post it on your social media, and be able to put the comments below so I can provide you with exactly what you're looking for and what you want to get out of this show. So now let's get started. Hey, 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 welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle. I am a visionary mystic entrepreneur known as the Mystic Wealth Creator, and the secret behind powerful and successful leaders that are making changes in this world to create conscious communities, to create conscious wealth, so that we can make this world a better place. Today I have an astronomical, incredible guest. So if you are looking on how you can possibly start a new business, or if you want marketing tips, definitely grab a pen and paper because we have Jeet Banerjee, and he at 25 is already a serial entrepreneur, digital marketing consultant, and a TEDx speaker. So Jeet started his entrepreneurial journey at 17 and since has sold two businesses for profit. In addition, he has spoken at events all over the world, and he helps tons of entrepreneurs find success with their venues. So, Jeet, welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Wow, you are so incredible. You were obviously able to start at a very, very young age when most individuals are thinking about what they even want to do with their life. You already started a business at 17. Can you tell us a little bit on what led you to that? How did you get to that pivotal point on starting a business?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in a very traditional family and household. When I turned 15, actually, my dad kind of knocked on my door one morning, woke me up, and was like, "Hey, I'm going to pay for all the basic necessities such as food, clothing, shelter. But if you want the latest video games or want to go hang out with your friends at the movies, whatever it is, that's on you now." So basically, that was his hint of telling me go get a job. So at 15, I had to basically pucker up and go get a job. And from 15 to 17, for these 2 years, I worked 12 different jobs. And I was working for a couple hours a week or a couple hours every day after school. And I quickly realized that something was really wrong with me because I worked 12 different jobs in 2 years, got fired or quit from every single job. And every job just felt horrendous to me. But when I turned 17, it was my senior year of high school, and I had this big plan of, hey, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to get a business degree, work a nice corporate job, and life is going to be great. But how was I going to work 40-hour weeks if I can't work 15 hours or 10 hours a week after school? So I thought something was terribly wrong with me. So I started going into Google and trying to almost Google these symptoms and figure out what was wrong with me. And when I Googled these symptoms, so to speak, that I had, I quickly came across this idea of entrepreneurship and so many entrepreneurs that I related with. And I've always been extremely impatient. And I think this was the first time in my life where my impatience actually paid off, because I said, oh, it's okay. I don't have experience or any money or anything like this. This whole starting a business thing seems super cool. Like, why not try now? And that's how I really dove in and jumped in.
Wow. Wow. So, what was the very first idea that you came up with?
Yeah, definitely. So the first idea I came up with was I decided to launch a multimedia agency where I'd offer kind of like web design and web development services for different businesses. And this idea really came to me because one of the jobs that I did between the ages of 15 to 17, I worked as a personal assistant and a project manager at like a web design company.
Mhm.
And so I really got to see that there was a big gap in the market. So there was a bunch of like developers and stuff overseas that would do projects for very cheap, but due to the language barrier, they really weren't able to get clients in the US. And then the clients in the US were extremely, or the web designers in the US were extremely overpriced and expensive. And they were able to get clients just because of the communication and people felt comfortable hiring them. So I had a light bulb go off where I was like, hey, why don't I partner up with these guys overseas and kind of be the guy in America that's their US front that can communicate with them, manage the project, and have these guys create all the work for me. And that's how I really started my first company. And I grew that to about 20 plus employees over 2 years. And I ended up selling it when I was 19.
Wow, wow. So, as entrepreneurs who are listening, you just gave the formula for multi-million dollar success.
Mhm.
Find the gap between what people need and what's not being fulfilled. Wow, that is so perfect. So, in addition to that, what is one of the fastest and most effective ways to start a new business for entrepreneurs that are just itching because they're like you, they're like me. We are not quote unquote employable.
hmm Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I think it just really came down to hustle, because when I started my web design company, I didn't even have a website myself, and I sold two websites. And I used that money to create my own website. So I think the biggest thing that I can tell people, especially when they're starting a new business, is number one, you never know if people even care about your business idea, if there's enough value for it, if you're solving a problem or anything like that. So why spend a bunch of time trying to perfect this business plan that may never end up working anyways? So for me, I've always been a big believer of like, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. And the only way to prove numbers in a business is to go out and actually generate sales. People will tell you your idea is great, but when it comes to pulling out their credit card and paying for your business idea or for your product or service, very few people will do that. So for me, it's always just been be very impatient, got a concept, go put it out in market and see what happens. And that's really what entailed me to get success early on as well.
Wow, and that is truly the success. I mean, the numbers do not lie, and they are very, very successful from being able to start your own business. And do you have some tips on what do you do for marketing for a new business or a new venture that individuals are taking on?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a very big question, because there's so many different things that can be done, and for starting a new business, and so sometimes very dependent on the business idea itself and the niche that you're in. But one of the best pieces of advice that I can give somebody is, when you're starting a new business, you want to be as cost effective as possible, or as cheap as possible, as I like to say. So one of the biggest things that I've learned is finding ways to partner up with other companies, other people in the space that are kind of already established, and finding a way to create a mutually beneficial partnership. So, for example, one of the things that I did in my second company, which was StatFuse, which was an online portal that helped high school students get into college, we actually reached out to all the SAT and ACT companies and told them, hey, if you guys put our widget or our software on your website and use that as a lead generation tool instead, here's the benefit. You guys are going to get to keep all this data, and you guys are going to have much better information on your students when you go through the sales process, because now you know what schools they want to go to, what their actual SAT score is, and all this background. And the benefit for us is we're not spending a dime on traffic. They're spending thousands and thousands of dollars marketing their website to draw traffic to theirs. And then people are coming to their website and signing up for our service. So always try to tell people, find a creative outside the box way to create partnerships. And sometimes you're going to create partnerships with your competitors. And my biggest thing with competitors is that competitors are a great thing. A lot of people look at them in a negative light. But for me, one, it validates that there is a chance to succeed in that industry. And two, they can really offer a lot of value, whether it's like learning from their mistakes, learning from what's working for them, or just being able to kind of leverage what they offer and leverage what you offer and being able to mutually kind of impact an industry. So that's probably the best piece of advice that I can offer.
Well, that's really powerful advice too. And you also, you have already started several businesses. You've been very successful. You're still 25 and you are a powerhouse in the world, starting to create your own movement. Can you tell us what are some of the qualities that you have or that you've noticed that successful entrepreneurs have?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the best qualities that I have and that I see in other successful entrepreneurs is persistence. So I think when it comes to business, especially, you only really have to be right once, and I think that's what many people fail to kind of understand. Like even in my business and things that I've done, I've failed many times. I've faced obstacles and challenges and had a rough time numerous times, and I think that mainstream media does a very good job of showing like the end goal or the success, but not the journey that led up to the success. And like I can frankly openly say that I've just been really, really persistent. Like I've failed many times, but I never let failure define me. Like when I failed, it was like an event, something that happened Monday at 3 o'clock. Okay, let me dust off my shoulders. Let me see what I learned from this experience and how can I come back better. So like giving up was never an option. And I feel like if you give up, then you allow failure to define you because that's the last thing that happened. But if you keep getting back up and keep trying and stay extremely persistent, I think that is extremely, extremely successful are extremely, extremely important in making you successful as an entrepreneur. So that's probably the number one advice I can give that I've seen between what I've seen in successful entrepreneurs. And the second thing is really hiring people that are smarter than me and better than me. And I think that I've seen a lot of successful entrepreneurs do that. And you really have to kind of tone down your ego and not worry about kind of like getting intimidated by people that are smarter than you and better than you, because at the end of the day, it's your company and it's your vision. How far do you want to take it and how much do you want it to succeed? Do you want to constantly have people that are at the same level or below you, or do you want to have people that are better than you that can help guide you to that vision even faster and stronger? And so that's kind of one of the biggest things that I've done in all my companies is really just hiring great talent and focusing on the things that I'm really good at, my strengths, and delegating my weaknesses and surrounding myself with a strong team that can kind of complement what I bring to the table.
Well, and as an entrepreneur that's just starting out, I mean, when you first started out, you were able to surround yourself with a big team that was overseas. But
Mhm.
how does somebody surround themselves if if they're just starting, they might not have the finances to hire people who are smarter than them? Do you have tips or strategies on what they can do then?
Yeah, absolutely. So for my second company, we had all of our resources kind of like locally here in California. And what we honestly did was we basically gave away equity in our business, and it was all about really selling our vision. So finding other people that really believed in our vision and saw the passion and the purpose that I brought to the table. And like we brought in like very skilled development team, right? That was willing to spend 40, 50 hours a week just working solely on our project because they believed so much in us and the vision that we had. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that if they really like your concept and they're passionate about it, just like you are, they'll be willing to work on it for equity. Like we never paid our development team anything up front. It was all equity based and kind of success based. And I think there's a lot of individuals out there like that. And to find them, it just really comes down to reaching out, networking, going to events, and just putting yourself and your ideas out there. And you never know. It only takes one connection to really change your life.
That is so absolutely true. One connection can put a domino effect on the rest of your entire business, and that right there can be your multi-million dollar business. But more importantly, you also mentioned have a very strong vision. And with the vision, I'm assuming you have to be very, very clear on what the vision is, how to define the vision, and how to make sure that other people understand how important this vision is to not only you, but to them and to the world. So how do you make a really strong vision so powerful that you will have people start coming on board and donating their time to create this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the biggest things that it comes down to is that a lot of people create business ideas because they're trying to chase money. And I like to say
Mhm.
that money is one of the toughest objects to chase because if you chase it, it's the hardest to obtain. But if you just kind of create value or purpose or solve a problem or do something that's dear and near to you, money will just follow you and money will come to you. And so, like when people try to pitch their ideas to me, even I ask them why. I always ask them this one question: why do you want to create this idea? And I feel like if someone can tell me that this relates from a personal problem, or it's something that they deal with or a loved one deals with, then I feel like they really bring passion and purpose on board and to the table. So I think like having like a really strong reason for why you're starting your business and being able to convey that to people really resonates with them. Like for example, when we created StatFuse, the college application tool, people always asked us this question, like, why do you guys want to create this? And it was like, well, when we were in high school, we struggled with this, and I myself struggled with it, and I could have probably gotten into a much better college if I had the resources and tools, and I wasn't able to. And while I felt bad for myself, I felt awful for all the students that were going to follow, that were going to go through the same path as me. And that was my purpose and my reason for creating that company, right? And so I think that's a very big key, is just like having a real reason to create a company, like some problem that you're really passionate about solving, or some kind of gap in the market that you really want to chase after due to personal reasons.
Absolutely. And it's so powerful when you have personal experience and so you are giving to the community, you have that vision and you have that strong purpose, it will catapult you forward and the money will follow. And I always think money is kind of like a puppy. If you chase it, it'll run away. But if you stand still and you hold your vision and you bring it treats, it will come to you. And you are very powerful in creating these visions, creating these missions, being able to help individuals become insanely successful. You actually have a free gift that will help people with the secrets of insanely successful entrepreneurship. Can you tell us a little bit about this incredible offer that you have that's for free for the individuals?
Yeah, absolutely. So, just kind of going through my journey, talking with mentors and networking and reaching out with different people, I just kind of realized that to be successful, it wasn't so much of like a lot of people want to talk about this idea that anyone can really become an entrepreneur. And while that's true, I don't think it's like if you just go out and start a business that you're going to be successful. I think there's like a lot that goes behind the scenes of like mindset wise, and entrepreneurship is really like a lifestyle. And that's kind of something that I realized and I understood shortly after I became an entrepreneur. So I really put together this like short guide that just really dives into all the different principles, mindsets, and strengths that are required to really succeed as an entrepreneur, and to develop those before you kind of jump into entrepreneurship, because I think those are like the nuts and bolts and the foundation. And once you have that thought process, that mindset, and you're kind of in agreement with, okay, this is what it's going to take for me to build my business, then you're actually ready to get to that point where you can actually come up with your business idea and pursue it.
Absolutely. And they can get that at your website at Jeet, BANERJEE.com/download. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Fabulous. Is there, I mean, time is going by so fast. Is there any last tips or strategies that you'd like to leave our audience with before we say our farewells?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the only one thing that I'd want to leave them with is that there's no better time to pursue your ideas and to pursue your dreams than right now. People love to make excuses tomorrow, not enough money, not enough experience, whatever it is. But I'm hopeful that my story can kind of pave the way for other people, to show them that when I started, I was 17, had absolutely no experience, still was working on my high school degree, absolutely didn't even have money, couldn't even create a PayPal account till I was 18. And yeah, and I just was super impatient, chased my dreams, and over the last 8 years, I've been able to come so far. And I feel like hopefully that can inspire even just one person to chase their dreams. I feel like that'll be a blessing.
Absolutely. And it'll be even more of a blessing if they get your download for the secrets of insanely successful at your website. So Jeet, I want to say thank you for being on the Wealthy Wednesday show. It's because of people like you that the Wealthy Wednesday show has been running strong for over 3 years. We have an incredible following that is with us now, and it is our goal that we reach at least 1 million people by 2020 per episode. So thank you so kindly for having the time and generosity to give for our audience to become better entrepreneurs and make this world a better place.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
And I want to thank my audience. Thank you for sending me the notes. Thank you for putting the comments below. Thank you for subscribing and letting me know what are the topics, what are the people, who would you like to have on the Wealthy Wednesday show, because you are very important to me. And if you tell me what specific issues or problems you have that I can bring an expert on that can help solve your issues, you just let me know. So put it in the comments below. I will personally answer them. So until next time, abundant blessings. Thank you for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle. I am the Mystic Wealth Creator, a mentor for conscious women entrepreneurs, helping them create more freedom in their business through conscious wealth creation. I would love to extend to you a free gift. And all you need to do is go to my website at lucymcmonagle.com. That's LucyMcmonagle.com to get your free gift. So until next time, abundant blessings.